and even the common people of the world who just want to raise a family, farm, 9 to 5 job, this desire to risk your life in the unknown, in the uncertain, still exists somewhere. Hello and welcome back to the channel, guys. Hope you're doing good. Hope you had a beautiful weekend and hope you have a beautiful week ahead. So, this time I'm going to be reacting to a song which you all know, and but I'll be giving you a different take. I'll be taking a look on why Thriller was such a massive hit. I'll analyze the video itself, the core themes, the mindset of the people, and the life of MJ itself to try and have a personal take on why it really was so successful. And yeah, let's dive right in. And here we go.
Honestly, we're out of gas.
So, what are we gonna do now? I'm sorry I didn't believe you.
Can I ask you something?
What?
You know I like you, don't you?
Yes?
And I hope you like me the way I like you.
Yes?
I was wondering if you would be my girl.
Oh, Michael. It's beautiful.
Now it's
So,
official. I have something I want to tell you.
Yes, Michael?
I'm not like other guys.
Of course not. That's why I love you.
No, I mean I'm different.
What are you talking about? Are you alright?
so guys, the first thing I want to ask is I want to know why I think about fear itself. Like, if, let's say, in a situation we are facing a grisly charge in real life, we wouldn't want to be there, right? But somehow, in front of the TV or in front of the big screen, when you have something that is charging at you, it's exciting. The fear feels good. And the only thing I understand is certainty. That certainty is the key for fear. Like, if you're sure that, you know, if your life is in danger, you're scared really. But in the theater, you have that certainty that you're not your life is not in danger, but still you have that survival instincts kick in with adrenaline and all that. Somehow it becomes a weird pleasure to be to put your life on the line. We people put our we put our life on the lines for many things, but uh, here it's just thrilling. I wondered why, and then I realized that we have all been given this mind, which is not full of answers. And we look into the world and we see questions everywhere. We are designed to ask questions like how deep is the ocean, what lies in the place that we haven't visited it, what goes on in space, what lies beyond the sea, like lies, is there more land or is there more water, who created us, is there a god, and what does his mind look like, where did it all begin, all these things. Like, we are full of questions, and as humans I think we have this innate instinct to explore, discover, find, invent, to seek these things. Ever since humans were good on food and their basic survival needs were met, we went on to explore. That we were explorers, from Magellan to Columbus to Edison to Tesla and to Socrates to Aristotle, philosophers, Plato, all this stuff. It's all there. But on the other hand, and these were noble pursuits. Like, you are searching for an answer and you are risking your life, and that's okay. And there are philosophers who got killed for their ideas, who happily drank poison in order to defend their ideas. There are adventurers who lost their life in the jungle discovering unknown lands, explorers, Magellan, who lost their lives exploring unknown, circumnavigating the earth. You have Copernicus, Galileo, and I think Galileo was persecuted for his belief that the earth was in the center. And all these things go on, and we venture into space, risking our life. Astronauts of today, we still do it today, and we still did it back then. But we always have, and these are pursuits where we feel fulfilled. And even the common people of the world who just want to raise a family, farm, 9 to 5 job, we also have this innate desire to explore. And somehow, over generations and over time, we found ourselves stuck. And this desire to explore needed to be expressed somehow. This desire to risk your life in the unknown, in the uncertain, still exists somewhere. And that is where I think the common man, or the one who doesn't put their life on the line for something, find their pleasure from putting their life or simulating it in some way, that their life is in risk. That danger feels amusing to the heart for some reason. If a theater is exciting, I think being with a grizzly in real life and risking your life is far more exciting. But I think there is a risk that you might lose your life, and somewhere we believe that there is more value to our life than that moment of excitement, right? And yeah, of course there are daredevils who put their life on the line all the time, but I'm just talking in general. So I think that is where this a thriller spoke to a lot of people. We grew up watching, chasing. We tried to chase each other, get thrill from it. We played hide and seek, enjoyed the thrill from it. We told ghost stories. Monsters existed. The monster on the bed, under the bed, existed as a child. But as we grew up, we took on a different role. Roles of parents, elders, a brother, to take care, protect, and suddenly we had to chase away all the monsters, and suddenly nothing existed at all. And we had to be the strong ones. And we had a 9 to 5 job, boring life. we couldn't be kids anymore. We can't believe in monsters. And Thriller gave the adults a beautiful opportunity to be kids again and experience the thrill that usually life is lacking. You know, I think that is where Thriller came in, and I think more about it later on. But yeah, let's go watch it.
Sheriff, he's over here.
God, look at that thing.
Look out!
Can we get out of here?
No, I'm enjoying this.
Blood hasn't been seen on this planet.
Well, I can't watch.
Excuse me.
Scrawled in blood.
What's it say?
See you next Wednesday.
From what we've seen so far, the only thing I can tell you is from a Jungian perspective, right? Kolya, like he said, like we all have monsters, and it's just hiding under the tame, civilized, socialized version of us. Inside us, there are always this monster. You see the scene where it starts beautifully, and the girl represents innocence and purity in some sense of everything that is good. And even Michael, to some extent, he does represent one part of the human nature, as Young would say, which is to love, provide, protect. And the funny thing was, he just gave her the ring, and just immediately after that, he get turned into a werewolf. Like he's tried to explain that he's not like other guys. There is this darkness in him. It's just like so innocent. Like what? What do you mean darkness? And then even then, when he was transforming into a werewolf, he tells her to get away. It's almost as if he's fighting this demon. Werewolf can represent our instincts, maybe, for power, violence, anger, the animal in us for some reason that just wants to take, that doesn't care about others' feeling, that's brutal. But he lost himself to it, and suddenly he kills her, and turns out it's happening in a movie theater, and somebody is watching it, and that it's Michael and his girlfriend. They're watching it. Michael is enjoying it, red flag, and she's pretty scared. And I think for Michael, maybe, I'm assuming since we're watching, I don't know what thrill we get from that, but I think just relating back to the animal instinct in us, I think it makes us feel powerful in a way. And that's how they've set it. Like, it's full of uncertainty. We thought what was real, but it's a movie. And now they're going to go out, and let's see where Thriller takes us next.
It's only a movie.
It's not funny.
You were scared, weren't you?
I wasn't that scared.
Yeah, you were scared.
It's close to midnight, and something evil's lurking in the dark. Under the moonlight, you see a sight that almost stops your heart. You try to scream, but terror takes the sound before you make it. And you start to freeze, and so it looks you right between the eyes. You're paralyzed. You hear the door slam, and one. You feel the cold hand and wonder if you ever see the sun. You close your eyes and hope that this is just imagination, girl. But all the while, you hear a creature creeping up behind. You're out of time. They're out to get you. As demons closing in on every side. They will possess you unless you change that number on your dial. And now is the time for you and I to cuddle close together. Yeah, all through the night, I'll save you from the terror on the screen. I'll make you see.
Darkness falls across the land.
So it started with suspense, maybe possible romance, the possibility of romance when his car broke down, and then her innocence, like she apologized for not believing him when he said they ran out of fuel. Car broke down, ran out of fuel, and then they were walking, and suddenly a surprise. He wanted her to be his girl, and she was excited. And then he said, "I'm not like other men." And then was this subtle curiosity, suspense, and then suddenly he turned into a werewolf. There's shock, and then there is gore. She gets killed by his own boyfriend, and then none of this is real. It's a movie. You're eating popcorn, Michael's enjoying the popcorn, and this girl is scared. And then they walk out, and Michael is being romantic by mocking, like making light of the situation by beautifully singing, about monsters. And then, just when you're getting comfortable, you see the graveyard.
The midnight hour is close at hand. Creatures crawl in search of blood to terrorize your neighborhood. And whosoever shall be found without the soul for getting down must stand and face the hounds of hell and rot inside a corpse's shell. Foulest stenches in the air, the funk of 40,000 years, and grisly ghouls from every tomb are closing in to seal your doom. And though you fight to stay alive, your body starts to shiver, for no mere mortal can resist the evil of the thriller.
guys, you have to appreciate the choreography. That was awesome. Like, you didn't know how awesome that was. Ah, jeez. Like the dance with the zombies, and the as like he's with her, and suddenly the camera pans to him, and he's like a zombie. Another twist in the story. It's just an experience. Thriller is entirely an experience. It gave the adults who were becoming practical in life, like an excuse to be playful. You know, maybe they weren't like, maybe they needed that excitement, drive in life to keep moving forward. Like, you're working a 9 to 5, having a family. Rather, we all have this innate desire to just find out what's out there, right? Not everybody can be, in a practical sense, an explorer. I don't think logistics and would be, right for the human race to exist if everybody would chase after the moon, the stars, the depths of the ocean, and philosophical ideas. Yeah, and it's like, you see, the thing about zombies, and like you see them, you see the werewolf, and then you see the zombies, and they're like right next to you. They're supposed to be scary. They start circling you, and suddenly they start dancing, and they start dancing in sync. That and it's beautiful. This, it's full of absurdity in a sense, but in that absurdity there is lots of relief, and this essence of childhood for most of the adults. I think that is why they're beings of chaos. They're supposed to chase after you. They're supposed to kill you, like the werewolf did, right? In the movie. Now, no, they're just having fun with you. Or they're playing, and you're still scared, but it's some kind of weird feeling when you watch them dancing. And yeah, and then now she's running into the house, and closed spaces are never good in scary movies. So it's a scary song. Let's see how it goes.
Problem. Come on, I'll take you home.
I think what made it awesome, I think many things made it awesome, guys. I think one thing that made it awesome was the fact that MJ itself, MJ had a very hard childhood if you think about it. Like, people who were supposed to protect him gave him a lot of anxiety, made him sad, made him self-conscious, and he always felt like his childhood was taken away from him due to all these issues and training all the time. And I think maybe when this was his chance to be in a place of not being the child, but to act like the person, maybe in a psychological sense. But I'm just saying, but maybe he could be the villain for once, by playing the monster rather than being the child who was who felt small and weak, anxious, you know. And also, like I said, there is this element of play as we were when we were children. Before we started asking all the big questions like of existence and discovery and all that, and when all of those things, we wanted excitement, and ghost stories was the thing. And maybe he wanted to relive it for once, and he perfectly could play this. He was just comes in with this almost sociopathic confidence. Like he looks like a sociopath in the start, like when he's eating popcorn, or almost maybe even a psychopath, like to say, when he's eating popcorn watching the movie, and even when performing, and then even in the end when she's like telling her, "I'll take you home." I don't know. He just nailed it. And I think because he went through so much during his childhood, he was able to play the role of uh, the caring boyfriend so well, but also the monster, because he truly loves people. And I think that is the story behind the Neverland Ranch. He wanted to experience being a child again. That was part of his thing, I think, because he had money. All he wanted to do was just build a ranch and have kids, have fun, and maybe he thought it would bring back his childhood. Yeah, and that shows that he truly loves children also. Yeah, that's part of this thing. Like he could play the beautiful boyfriend who's caring, also the monster, because he's seen the monster as a child, and it's just beautiful. I don't know what to say other than awesome. Michael is a legend, a good actor too, and you don't have to talk about the singing and the dancing. That's pretty evident, and you'd be bored if I start talking about it. Nor do I have the skill set to precisely describe the song, music, and skills. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, if you guys have anything else to speak to me about Thriller or any other different take, go ahead and drop it down in the comments, guys. And that's it for now. Hopefully, let me know what I should react to next, or analyze, or have a take on next. Whatever artist it is, just let me know in the comments. See you guys. Until then, have a beautiful week. Bye.